Right, I'm going to be doing another cheap HPA build, and today we're going to be doing it on a Browning. Bloody hell! Right, this is an M2 Browning replica. And I'm not joking you, I can't really move the camera right now, but it's full length. The barrel's over here, you know, it's enormous. It weighs a shit ton, frankly, and it's gorgeous, frankly. And yeah, it's bloody huge. And they want it to shoot airsoft pellets. So we're going to be doing a Foverine build. And so for the replacement gearbox casing, I've got this old Spectre Arms case, and I've already gone and made the engine parts, all 100 infill, 0.12 resolution. Well, it's all kind of stuck together now. But you have the nozzle and piston, and I also trimmed off the little, hang on, let me pull this apart. We have the manifold, and then we have the nozzle assembly, which we drilled out that hole a bit to make it wider. We've got our cylinder, and then there's the stopper in the middle, which gives the head something to brace against. And we're going to push that all back together. We need to put a fitting in there, so we've got that. The electronics again will be a very basic 555 timer oscillator, and we will also be adding a couple of buttons on to the trigger of the M2 Browning, which we will see in a second. And we'll have them as the, I want to say it's called like a spade trigger, where you got the handle and you go turn. Where we really need to start is we need to get the engine working, and we're going to basically cut down bits off the M4 that we don't need, try and make it small as possible, like lock that off. What we're going to do is we're going to assemble the HPA engine. So this is all 100 infill, 0.12 resolution. We're going to put a adapter in here, or sorry, a coupling in for a push coupling for some HPA tubing, and we're also going to make sure we put the spring back in. For the return spring, I'm literally using one of the 1.4 by 40 by 14 springs I use in the meteorites, and so that'll give us our return spring. And we want to add a chamfer to the nozzle here, otherwise what will end up happening is it will potentially pinch the rubber, the lips of a hot rubber. In fact, here's one here, not for this project, but it can actually pinch the bucking lips, stuff them inwards, and then ram a pellet down them, and that will completely jam it right up. And we've got oodles of space inside this Browning here. If we look over here, we have the mount. They've deliberately left the mount on so I can work around that, so we don't end up with anything fouling. What we will probably do is this will probably sit, if we do it like that, it means that it's a bit of a wall pup thing. I mean, ideally we want that lined up with that, but where's the receiver? I need to find the receiver. We're going to be chucking a longer inner barrel in it. So this is the inner barrel and hop unit from the Valken, and we will be stripping all this front furniture off, maybe even just having literally just a pipe, and that will fit in. Right, well, I'll have to deal with that later, but this will basically sit in there, I'm sure, as you can imagine. And we will chop the mag well down, so that might not be too much of a problem. Might be worth making a way of being able to eject the mag, actually. That's one thing I just realised. Probably a bit tight there. If we chisel off or sand off these bumps here, it would make that more reachable. I mean, worst case scenario, using a screwdriver down the side to eject the mag at the end of the day. The trigger assembly is all irrelevant because this is going to be externally triggered. We're going to have one of the Foverine circuits, but with just full auto, and we're going to have the aforementioned two little black sort of weatherproof momentary buttons that are going to go on the, to make sure I put a window out for this thing, that go on the paddle trigger there. So we'll put one either side, slightly higher up, and you'll have to press both of them in for it to fire. I've got an old JG Org A2 barrel, which is 509mm in length. It's not going to go to the length of the barrel, at the end of the barrel, because that is about 1.5 meters. Right, I've chamfered the nozzle. I don't know, well, that's going to show up, so now the bucking will actually insert into it. We're going to use a different bucking because this one's obviously been sitting in a rental. Next up, we're going to put in the HPA fitting in this, so I need to go grab them out of the electronics box because of course they would be in there. I have also gone and grabbed the solenoid valve, 12 volt valve, exactly the same one I use on all of the Foverine builds, and I just missed the bin. We're going to need, I believe these will be 1/4 inch BSP to 6mm pressure press fit, push fit tubing connectors. We're going to need a few of them. Got 2 for the valve and 1 for the engine. Doesn't matter if it looks a bit messy, it's going to be inside the thing anyway. So there we are, that's the fitting on the engine. This is the stuff we're going to be using. It's 6mm tubing, so we'll pop that in and pull it out like that to make sure it locks. There we are. We've got this small length which will go between the engine and the valve, and then we'll probably end up using the whole length of that to go down to an air tank in the Jeep, the truck, the emplacement, whatever you're using it for. We're also going to put the HPA fittings into the valve whilst we've got it here. So there we are, that's the couplings on our valve. So now, let's put a tiny bit of silicone oil in there, it will get churned around when it's firing. I just realised, did we put the spring in there? I can't remember. No, we didn't. Oh, that would have been really annoying to have assembled the whole engine. You get one shot out of it and it doesn't reset. That's the gearbox casing screwed together with pipe, and that all reciprocates still. So what we're going to do is we want to put this in the base of the receiver, and there we are. So that's slightly shorter. Magwell is still enough for the release and all that, so that way we should be able to get that system, that sort of weird 249 locky thing, the head of a 249 mag to click in. So next up we want to pull apart this gubbins here, the thing I can't think of the name of. Upper, can't see a grub screw on that, so we're just going to force it off. What have we done now? We've just hacked off the forward assist and the casing deflector, yeah, whatever it's called. So now that sits in, well, allows us to position it more centrally. So we've got bucking there. We'll clean the barrel and bucking out once it's all together. We've got our bucking there, finger over the end. Seal could be a bit better, but it probably will improve when we put it in the hop unit, so I'm not going to put any Teflon on just yet. No, I think we might do, for the ease of it, might TDC it. I'm not joking you, 50 cal TDC. So next up, what we're going to do, I think that's the inlet, so we'll try that. We'll put one end in that, and then we'll put one end, we'll put the other end on the engine side. I'd go grab an 11.1 actually as well. No leaks, that's good. So we want to connect the valve up to positive and negative briefly. And we have got it cycling. So now, see if a mag locks in. That mag locks in fine, that's good. Oh, I see why. Nozzle's too long. Okay then. Right, well, I've got it feeding. What I did is I actually just chopped down the nozzle and re-chamfered it a bit because it was slightly too long. You know. Yeah, we're getting quite hot readings, but of course, HPA, you can drop the power down. And those were 2 5s, those rounds in there. Right, we've now got a TDC'd M4. What I did is I used a hacksaw to hack the top off the hop unit so it doesn't block the grub screw pressing against it. And so we've now got a hop unit that works, and also that is adjustable from the outside. We want to see about actually installing this, and yeah, that's going to be interesting. We're going to have to disassemble this, I think, to get it to fit inside. Not gonna lie, I am somewhat making this up as I go along. There we are, so that's beyond the weld. We can then slide, we spin that round the correct way. The hop unit's slightly misaligned in the receiver, that's not a problem now. Right, okay, so we're going to hack bottom of the gearbox off as well. Right, we've literally cut everything off that is not necessary on this receiver. It's like, you know, you talk about low profile speed soft builds, you don't really get much faster than this. I'm trying to get the pipe out of the way. I put that in the wrong way anyway. Right, I've gone and made some clamps for the outer barrel assembly. Right, we have it feeding now. I say we've got it feeding, we had it feeding earlier. We've bolted this down And yeah, it's now shooting through the outer barrel assembly. I can't really show you right now, there's so much mesh and shit everywhere. The pellets are coming out the end of the barrel, they're not striking anything they're not supposed to. So what we're going to do now is probably get the switches mounted at the back, get the valve hidden inside, and then move on to the electronics, which I'm really looking forward to because I'm a bit sad like that. So let's get to that. A line there, that's where we've got to go to. Right, so we're going to take our switches and we're going to screw them in. So we're going to take off this washer, this nut and this spring washer. Look at that. That looks pretty swish, that. I mean, can't really hold it from this angle because of, well, the angle, but and then you have to hold both to fire. That's pretty swanky, that. I'm probably going to do this next bit off camera just just for the sake of ease, because I really don't know how I'm going to do this on the bench. I need to do a wire hole. There we have un wire hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed a bit of wire through that. We're going to wire these switches in series, and that's what's going to switch the power to the circuit. The way this circuit works, it'll be a 555 based oscillator with a transistor or maybe a MOSFET to open the valve. And basically, when you press the buttons, it will power it up. When you release the buttons, it cuts the power from the battery, so it's not going to draw any power on standby. And I think that looks really good, that. We're going to put the soldering iron on, I suppose, and do the bit that I really look forward to, which is the electronics, because, you know, I'm a bit weird. So that's firing. Right, so let's solder. Pin 8 to pin 7, 7, 6, one of the diode leg goes over there. I think that's pretty much it. Well, the only way to find out is to try it. It's a fucking Browning! It's a HPA Browning! Oh, dearie me. Oh, this is going to be a good bit of kit when they put it on their Jeep. There's still some neatening to be done, but most of that can be done off camera because that's going to be boring stuff. But I want to put some rounds for this now. Well, it's not clipping the outer barrel, so that's a good thing. It's a 50 cal. It's pulling a bit that way, but we've got a crosswind that way. Yeah, we're running out of air now. Look at that though, eh? I hope they love it. I hope they really do. So next up, it'll be a regulator and a fitting for them. But that's it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I know you're probably not enjoying the wind, but there you go. Welcome to the UK. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure you leave a like. If you want to support what I do, then make sure you check out fulcrumairsoft.com and Fulcrum Airsoft on Colts 3D. All support, as usual, is massively appreciated because it allows me to do stuff like this. And if you want to be part of the channel, then make sure you subscribe too. And if you want to see another one of my cheap HPA builds, you can check that out right here. But I don't think anything is going to compete with the sheer awesome factor as having an HPA Browning.